Students' attitude of lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender in Talomo National High School.
Background of the study. In today's society, the problem of homosexuality is still relevant, given that many people still do not embrace the LGBT community. Despite its existence, it is still a problem. Religious beliefs, cultural norms, and a host of other variables can influence how people feel about LGBT people. These are just a few of the numerous reasons why people still do not embrace LGBT people. An ordinance protecting lesbian, homosexual, bisexual, and transgender individuals from discrimination has been approved by the Philippine city of Mandaluyong. This is the most recent in a string of local legislation that have been passed throughout the nation. The lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and intersex or LGBTI community includes adults, children, and adolescents, and the UN calls on all nations to halt violence and discrimination against them. International human rights legislation imposes obligations on states. Everyone has the equal right to live in peace, free from persecution, violence, and stigma. It appears that most research projects enlisted college students to participate in their study. Studies on senior high school students' attitude towards LGBT people have not been conducted. The researchers are proposing a study involving seniors in high school. This type of study can reveal whether senior high school pupils have a significantly more accepting outlook than those in prior studies. As society has grown more accepting of the LGBT community, the number of LGBT persons has increased. Prior to the pandemic, the population of the LGBT people had been gradually growing due to the influence of well-known LGBT actors and actresses and social media influencers like Vice Ganda, Mimiya, Sasa Girl, and many other well-known LGBT social influencers and artists. When the pandemic first began, many LGBT people came out in the open and expressed their true gender identities. No class or department at Talomo National High School has ever been devoid of LGBT or lesbian, gay, bisexual, or transgender individuals. This study aims to describe the attitude of junior high and senior high school students towards LGBT in Talomo National High School during the school year 2022 to 2023.
Attitude refers to feelings, beliefs, and reaction of an individual towards an event, phenomenon, object, or person. Through the process of perceiving LGBT issues, students can analyze and assess LGBT phenomena in their environment. In order to have a positive attitude toward LGBT individuals, one must also be aware of their feelings for them and grasp what the term LGBT means. LGBT people will surely be accepted in their surroundings by people who have a solid understanding and knowledge of LGBT concerns. Most of the research studies only focuses on college students or person in the higher education. Some of the studies seems to be correlational because they compare different population and their attitudes towards LGBT or homosexuality. According to a study that compared male and female attitudes towards homosexuality, women are more accepting of LGBT people than men. This research study is not going to correlate, instead it will attempt to describe the attitude of students in senior high school towards LGBT people in general. Finding attitude towards homosexuality, it is crucial to remember that there are few studies available when finding and researching attitudes regarding homosexuality.
The study by Monstansky, Garofalo, and Emerson 2010 has several limitations, including non-random sampling, a small sample size to assess significance between identifiable groups, and results that might not be generalizable to other regions. Many LGBT people have a mental health diagnosis service and therapy tailored to their sexual and gender identities due to a health problem. Due to the numerous difficulties that LGBT foster adolescents endure as a result of their sexual orientation or gender identity, it is crucial that professionals treat them with kindness and impartiality. Scales to measure attitudes towards LGBT people.
The use of a novel measure to examine homonegativity at lower thresholds was investigated by Monto and Sopinski in 2014 to gauge undergraduate students' degrees of comfort with LGBT people. The authors gave 431 of them the homonegativity as discomfort scale. The authors found that there were higher incidences of discomfort linked to lesbian women are more attractive to gay males. The study provided a second assessment tool to gauge attitudes toward gay men and lesbians that was found to have concept of criterion validity and the study permits the use of this validation instrument as a measurement.
Religion and Negative Attitudes Toward Homosexual, George Weinberg, 1972, first used the term homophobia in the late 1960s. His work heralded a widespread change in perspective when homosexuality itself was no longer considered as the social issue that needed to be studied, but rather the negative sentiments about homosexuality. Weinberg, 1972, the word homophobia has a suffix that implies is an irrational dread similar to the fear of heights or spiders. Some public opinion researchers attempt to avoid this mixing of cause and effect and instead focus on topics like sexual prejudice. Herrick, 2004, Anti-Gay Sentiments, Puig et al. 2010a, or Homonegativity, Staff Horror, and Remark, 2009.
It is clearly established that boys are more biased than girls in the literature on negative views towards homosexuality. Poitier, 2007, the gender belief system disapproves of all sex roles violations, although men's violations are more seriously regarded by both men and women. Lamar and Kite, 1998, Liner and Liner, 1980. According to Kite and Diox, 1987, there is a large correlation between men's reported sexual orientation and their cross-gender behavior. Greater gender role rigidity makes it more challenging for men to adopt traits, attitudes, and or behaviors that are viewed as feminine and encourage them to reject gender role violators, example gay men.
In general, most studies conclude that many people still do not accept homosexuality in their surrounding, that it contradicts social norms and that it's still a phenomenon in today's society. This study recommends that people should have an ignored understanding of LGBT issue in order to have a positive attitude towards homosexuality.
Statement of the problem. The aim of the study is to describe the attitude of junior high and senior high school students, including grade 9, 10, 11, and 12, towards LGBT in Talomo National High School during the school year 2022 to 2023. Specifically, it will seek to answer the following question. First, what is the perception of grade 11 students towards LGBT in cognitive and affective aspect? Second, to what extent students understand LGBT? 3. What is the level of student awareness of LGBT?
Theoretical framework. The theory used in this study is the feminist theory. It was developed as a result of the feminist movement, and it was used to study how each family was shaped by gender and gender rules. Historically, men were expected to display masculine attributes while all women were expected to display femininity. This theory indicates that males and females have specific gender rules that they must conform to. While mostly gender-related, this theory also extends to all oppressed groups based on age, class, ethnicity, race, disability, or sexual orientation. The feminist theory, when applied to this study, would predict that the findings would reflect societal perception of men and women. According to this idea, the attitude of the sample students towards LGBT people would be representative of heterosexual gender rules based on the assumption that men have masculine features and women have feminine ones. Additionally, according to this argument, men are to blame for creating the gender rules that everyone, male and female, are required to adhere to. This may suggest that men generally have stronger feelings about adhere to gender rules. In addition, we believe that men will likely have a more heterosex outlook because men were socially responsible for creating gender norms.
Research design. This study will use a descriptive research design. This research study will describe the attitudes of junior and senior high school students including grades 9, 10, 11, and 12 toward homosexuality or simply LGBT and will categorize their attitudes as negative or positive based on their responses to that question that will be given to each of the selected students. Description of population. The population of this research study will be junior and senior high school students, including grades 9, 10, 11, and 12 at Talomo National High School. The sample or the respondent who will be selected is a part of the population.
Description of respondents. The respondents will be the selected junior and senior high school students, including grades 9, 10, 11, and 12 at Talomo National High School. They will be the ones who have enough knowledge and deep understanding to answer the problem that we will be posting in our study. They will be answering the questionnaire that we will be giving them, which supplies information that we need.
Description of research instrument. This research study will develop a survey to assist students' attitudes toward homosexuality. The question covered information such as familiarity with the term LGBT, knowing an LGBT individual, comfort level, and spending social time with an LGBT person. The survey will use a Likert scale questionnaire ranking from 1 strongly disagree to 5 strongly agree. Description of data collection process. This study will collect the data by first knowing the population and then getting the class list from the advisors of your population. Following that, the response will be chosen as a sample from the population of the study. After knowing the sample, we will ask all other advisors to permission to conduct a survey. After it is accepted, we will go each classroom in our population and ask the selected students if they are willing to answer the questionnaire that we will be preparing. After the students agree, we will proceed with explaining the flow of the survey and giving them the instructions that we will be following after the respondents provide all the necessary data that we need for our research. We will scan the answers to ensure that everything is already filled out, that there is no missing data, but before that we will not be opening all questionnaires until all the data has been collected.